Okay. It says the Greek word pneuma. No, I'm going to start right here. It says, she is the image of the invisible, virginal, perfect spirit. She became the mother of everything, for she existed before them all. The mother, father, what is that? Metropater. Okay? This is all Gnosticism. Pay attention to this, Israel and you Gentiles. This is what he's teaching. Some of you may believe in it. But if you believe in Yahweh Shai, you're not going to believe in this. If you believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to rebuke him. This is a lie. You should know this is a lie. Okay? Then it goes into the Gospel of Thomas. It says, Jesus speaks of his divine Father, the Father of truth, and the divine Mother. This is what the Gnostics say. Now, if you read the Bible, Christ don't call, he don't speak of the divine mother. He never said the divine mother. Christ is always talking about the Holy Spirit, and he called the Holy Spirit a he, okay? Which is really going into what? Grammatical gender. It's because of the language that was being spoke, not because of the essence of the Spirit. But the Gnostics took it and said, if in the Hebrew, in the grammar, if it's a she, then the Holy Spirit must be a woman in essence. That's what they did. So it says, the Holy Spirit, certain Gnostics suggest a third characterization of the divine mother. Who did this? Certain Gnostics. Of the divine mother as wisdom. That's another name for the divine mother or the Holy Spirit, in which they call Sophia. Sophia. On the text discovered at what? At Nag Hammadi. Opens a divine power speaks. Okay, it says what? Opens a divine power speaks. Okay, so another book you can read this in is the Nag Hammadi Library. The Nag Hammadi Library is a book, is a volume of books that the Gnostics wrote. And the Gnostics, in those books, tells you that the divine mother is the Holy Spirit. Okay? And then it says, this is what it says, the power speaks. Okay, in the Nag Hammadi, in those books, this is what they said. I am the thought that dwells in the light. She who exists before the all. See, it says she who exists before the all. So they said the Holy Spirit existed before all, but she was a woman. It says, I move in every creature. I am the invisible one within the all. I am perception and knowledge, uttering a voice by my means of thought. I am the real voice. I cry out in everyone, and they know that a seed dwells within, and much more in the same vein. Okay, so that's where you get the Holy Spirit being feminine from, and he's upholding that Antichrist spirit from Elaine Pagels. You can look her up on the internet, and she's a Gnostic too. She believes in that, and she breaks it down and tells you that the origin of the Holy Spirit being feminine is from the Gnostics. Okay? Now let's go to this one right here. We're going to go to Wikipedia. Free Encyclopedia, Gender of the Holy Spirit. And I'll just read this. It says that if by gender is meant grammatical gender, the gender of the Holy Spirit varies according to the language used. Thus, the grammatical gender of the word spirit is masculine, and Latin spiritus, and in Latin derived languages as also, for instance, the German language Geist, which is ghost, which is spirit, while in the Semitic languages such as Hebrew, which is rakah or ruach, Aramaic and its descendant Syriac is feminine, and in the Greek is neuter. So what they saying right here is that, this is out the Wikipedia, what they saying right here is that if by gender is meant grammatical gender, they're not talking about the spirit itself having a gender. They talking about the spirit has a gender as far as the grammar is concerned, as far as the language is concerned. Okay? It says grammatical gender, the gender of the Holy Spirit varies, and it does vary, because in the Old Testament they say it's feminine, and in the New Testament the grammatical gender of the Holy Spirit is what? Masculine. Okay? So I'm going to keep reading it. It says, when grammatical gender in a particular language is confused, with the physical gender, talking about the Holy Spirit is thought of within that language as male, female, or neither, meaning neuter. Okay? So, now I'm going to drop down right here, and you can read this article yourself. All you got to do is punch up gender of the Holy Spirit, okay, in the Wikipedia, and you will see that when it talks about the Holy Spirit being feminine, it's talking about the Holy Spirit being feminine as far as the grammar or the language that's used, and not the gender of the Holy Spirit being a feminine or a woman, okay? Now it says right here, there are some other independent Messianic Judaism groups with similar teachings, and some scholars associated with the mainline denominations, while not necessarily indicative of the denominations themselves, have written works explaining a feminine understanding of the third member of the Godhead. Okay? And I'm going to read this too, where it says, I put a note by it, say feminine. It said, the Syriac language, which was in common use around 300 AD, and that's when the Gnostics start to flourish at that time, okay, is derived from Aramaic and documents produced in Syriac by the early Miaphysites, okay? That's a Gnostic group or Gnostic church, okay? It says Miaphysite church, which later became the Syrian Orthodox Church. The feminine gender of the word for spirit gave rise to the theology in which the Holy Spirit was considered feminine. So it was these Gnostics that came up with that, okay? Let us understand that. It was the Gnostics that came up with that false doctrine, that lie, that demon, that the Holy Spirit is actually a woman or feminine or Sophia or wisdom. Okay? I'm going to read this last part. I wanted to read some more, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. It says, I'm going to read right here. It says, in Syriac language too, the grammatical feminine. And notice it keeps saying grammatical. It's not saying the essence, but grammatical feminine word ruah means spirit. And writers in that language, both Orthodox and Gnostic, use maternal images when speaking of the Holy Spirit. This imagery is found in the 4th century theologian Aphrahat and Ephraim. Okay, these are Gnostics that spoke of the Holy Spirit being feminine. Okay, it says, it is found in the earlier writings of the Syriac Christianity, such as the Odes of Solomon. If you look at the Odes of Solomon, they're Gnostic writings. Check that out. Check it out. Okay? It says it's found, the Holy Spirit being feminine is found in the earlier Syriac Christianity, such as the Odes of Solomon, that's a book that was written by Gnostics in the early 3rd century. So, in other words, in the 200s AD, Gnostic Acts of Thomas. Okay, Holy Dove. This is what Thomas said according to Gnostics. This is what they said he said. Holy Dove that beareth the twin young, come hidden mother. Okay, it says, come thou that art manifest by thy deeds, and thou furnish joy and rest for all that are joined with thee. Come and partake with us in the Eucharist, which we celebrate in thy name, and in the love feast in which we are gathered together at thy call. So check this out. So I'm going to just read this last part quickly. And it says right here, while scholars generally agree that grammatical gender is not necessarily correlative to personal gender. So in other words, what they're saying is that if a thing is called by their gender grammatically, it's called male or female, it's not related to the thing in which it's being called. In other words, I'm going to go to some examples on that in a minute. Okay, let's go to the next one.